In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. They ask you, O Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, about the spoils of war. Say, the spoils are for Allah and the Messenger. So fear Allah and adjust all matters of difference among you, and obey Allah and His Messenger, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, if you are believers. The believers are only those who, when Allah is mentioned, feel a fear in their hearts, and when His verses, this Qur'an, are recited unto them, they, that is, the verses, increase their faith, and they put their trust in their Lord, alone. Who perform as-salat, iqamat as-salat, and spend out of that we have provided them. It is they who are the believers in truth. For them are grades of dignity with their Lord, and forgiveness and a generous provision, paradise. As your Lord caused you, O Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, to go out from your home with the truth, and verily, a party among the believers disliked it, disputing with you concerning the truth after it was made manifest, as if they were being driven to death, while they were looking at it. And, remember, when Allah promised you, Muslims, one of the two parties, of the enemy, that is, either the army or the caravan, that it should be yours, you wished that the one not armed, the caravan, should be yours, but Allah willed to justify the truth by His words and to cut off the roots of the disbelievers, that is, in the battle of Badr, that He might cause the truth to triumph and bring falsehood to nothing, even though the mujrimun, disbelievers, polytheists, sinners, criminals, hate it. Remember, when you sought help of your Lord and He answered you, saying, I will help you with 1,000 of the angels each behind the other, following one another, in succession. Allah made it only as glad tidings, and that your hearts be at rest therewith. And there is no victory except from Allah. Verily, Allah is Almighty, All-Wise. Remember, when He covered you with a slumber as a security from Him, and He caused water, rain, to descend on you from the sky, to clean you thereby and to remove from you the rijs, whispering, evil suggestions, of shaitan, Satan, and to strengthen your hearts, and make your feet firm thereby. Remember, when your Lord revealed to the angels, Verily, I am with you, so keep firm those who have believed. I will cast terror into the hearts of those who have disbelieved, so strike them over the necks, and smite over all their fingers and toes. This is because they defied and disobeyed Allah and His Messenger. And whoever defies and disobeys Allah and His Messenger, then verily, Allah is severe in punishment. This is the torment, so taste it, and surely for the disbelievers is the torment of the fire. O you who believe! When you meet those who disbelieve, in a battlefield, never turn your backs to them. And whoever turns his back to them on such a day, unless it be a stratagem of war, or to retreat to a troop, of his own, he indeed has drawn upon himself wrath from Allah. And his abode is hell, and worst indeed is that destination. You killed them not, but Allah killed them. And you, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, threw not when you did throw, but Allah threw, that He might test the believers by a fair trial from Him. Verily, Allah is all-hearer, all-knower. This is the fact, and surely, Allah weakens the deceitful plots of the disbelievers. O disbelievers, if you ask for a judgment, now has the judgment come unto you, and if you cease to do wrong, it will be better for you, and if you return to the attack, so shall we return, and your forces will be of no avail to you, however numerous they be, and verily, Allah is with the believers. O you who believe! Obey Allah and His Messenger, and turn not away from Him, that is, Messenger Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, while you are hearing. And be not like those who say, We have heard, but they hear not. Verily, the worst of moving, living creatures with Allah are the deaf and the dumb, who understand not, that is, the disbelievers. Had Allah known of any good in them, He would indeed have made them listen, and even if He had made them listen, they would but have turned away with aversion to the truth. O you who believe! Answer Allah, by obeying Him, and His Messenger when He, peace and blessings be upon him, calls you to that which will give you life, and know that Allah comes in between a person and his heart, that is, He prevents an evil person to decide anything. And verily to Him you shall, all, be gathered. And fear the fitna, affliction and trial, which affects not in particular, only, those of you who do wrong, but it may afflict all the good and the bad people, and know that Allah is severe in punishment. And remember when you were few and were reckoned weak in the land, and were afraid that men might kidnap you, but He provided a safe place for you, strengthened you with His help, and provided you with good things so that you might be grateful. O you who believe! Betray not Allah and His Messenger, nor betray knowingly your amanat, things entrusted to you, and all the duties which Allah has ordained for you. And know that your possessions and your children are but a trial, and that surely with Allah is a mighty reward. O you who believe! If you obey and fear Allah, He will grant you furqan, a criterion to judge between right and wrong, or makhraj, that is, a way for you to get out from every difficulty, and will expiate for you your sins, and forgive you, and Allah is the owner of the great bounty. And, remember, when the disbelievers plotted against you, O Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, to imprison you, or to kill you, or to get you out, from your home, that is, Makkah, they were plotting and Allah too was plotting, and Allah is the best of those who plot. And when our verses, of the Qur'an, are recited to them, they say, we have heard, the Qur'an, if we wish we can say the like of this. This is nothing but the tales of the ancients. And, remember, when they said, O Allah! If this, the Qur'an, is indeed the truth, revealed, from you, then rain down stones on us from the sky or bring on us a painful torment. And Allah would not punish them while you, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, are amongst them, nor will He punish them while they seek Allah's forgiveness. And why should not Allah punish them while they hinder men from Al-Masjid al-Haram, and they are not its guardians? None can be its guardians except al-Muttaqun, the pious, but most of them know not. Their salat, prayer, at the house of Allah, that is, the Kaaba at Makkah, was nothing but whistling and clapping of hands. Therefore taste the punishment because you used to disbelieve. Verily, those who disbelieve spend their wealth to hinder men from the path of Allah, and so will they continue to spend it, but in the end it will become an anguish for them. Then they will be overcome. And those who disbelieve will be gathered unto hell. In order that Allah may distinguish the wicked, disbelievers, polytheists and doers of evil deeds, from the good, believers of Islamic monotheism and doers of righteous deeds, and put the wicked, disbelievers, polytheists and doers of evil deeds, one over another, heap them together and cast them into hell. Those, it is they who are the losers. Say to those who have disbelieved, if they cease from disbelief, their past will be forgiven. But if they return thereto, then the examples of those punished before them have already preceded, as a warning. And fight them until there is no more fitna, disbelief and polytheism, that is, worshipping others besides Allah, and the religion, worship, will all be for Allah alone, in the whole of the world. But if they cease worshipping others besides Allah, then certainly, Allah is all-seer of what they do. And if they turn away, then know that Allah is your Mawla, patron, Lord, protector and supporter, what an excellent Mawla and what an excellent helper. And know that whatever of war booty that you may gain, verily 1/5 of it is assigned to Allah, and to the Messenger, and to the near relatives, of the Messenger, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and also, the orphans, al-Masakin, the poor, and the wayfarer, if you have believed in Allah and in that which we sent down to our slave, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, on the day of criterion, between right and wrong, the day when the two forces met, the battle of Badr. And Allah is able to do all things. And remember, when you, the Muslim army, were on the near side of the valley, and they on the farther side, and the caravan on the ground lower than you. Even if you had made a mutual appointment to meet, you would certainly have failed in the appointment, but, you met, that Allah might accomplish a matter already ordained, in His knowledge, so that those who were to be destroyed, for their rejecting the faith, might be destroyed after a clear evidence, and those who were to live, that is, believers, might live after a clear evidence. And surely, Allah is all-hearer, all-knower. And remember, when Allah showed them to you as few in your, that is, Muhammad's, peace and blessings be upon him, dream, if He had shown them to you as many, you would surely have been discouraged, and you would surely have disputed in making a decision. But Allah saved you. Certainly, He is the all-knower of what is in the breasts. And, remember, when you met the army of the disbelievers on the day of the Battle of Badr, He showed them to you as few in your eyes and He made you appear as few in their eyes, so that Allah might accomplish a matter already ordained, in His knowledge, and to Allah return all matters, for decision. O you who believe! When you meet an enemy force, take a firm stand against them and remember the name of Allah much, both with tongue and mind, so that you may be successful. And obey Allah and His Messenger, and do not dispute with one another, lest you lose courage and your strength departs, and be patient. Surely, Allah is with those who are sabirun, the patient. And be not like those who come out of their homes boastfully and to be seen of men, and hinder men from the path of Allah, and Allah is Muhitun, encircling and thoroughly comprehending all that they do. And, remember, when Shaitan, Satan, made their evil deed seem fair to them and said, no one of mankind can overcome you this day of the Battle of Badr, and verily, I am your neighbor, for each and every help. But when the two forces came in sight of each other, he ran away and said, verily, I have nothing to do with you. Verily, I see what you see not. Verily, I fear Allah, for Allah is severe in punishment. When the hypocrites and those in whose hearts was a disease of disbelief said, these people, Muslims, are deceived by their religion. But whoever puts his trust in Allah, then surely, Allah is Almighty, all-wise. And if you could see when the angels take away the souls of those who disbelieve, at death, they smite their faces and their backs, saying, taste the punishment of the blazing fire. This is because of that which your hands had forwarded. And verily, Allah is not unjust to His slaves. Similar to the behavior of the people of Pharaoh, and of those before them, they rejected the ayat, proofs, verses, etc., of Allah, so Allah punished them for their sins. Verily, Allah is all-strong, severe in punishment. That is so because Allah will never change a grace which He has bestowed on a people until they change what is in their own selves. And verily, Allah is all-hearer, all-knower. Similar to the behavior of the people of Pharaoh, and those before them. They belied the ayat, proofs, evidence, verses, lessons, signs, revelations, etc., of their Lord, so we destroyed them for their sins, and we drowned the people of Pharaoh, for they were all zalimun, polytheists and wrongdoers. Verily, the worst of moving, living, creatures before Allah are those who disbelieve, so they shall not believe. They are those with whom you made a covenant, but they break their covenant every time and they do not fear Allah. So if you gain the mastery over them in war, punish them severely in order to disperse those who are behind them, so that they may learn a lesson. If you, O Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, fear treachery from any people, throw back their covenant to them, so as to be on equal terms, that there will be no more covenant between you and them. Certainly Allah likes not the treacherous. And let not those who disbelieve think that they can escape from the punishment. Verily, they will never be able to save themselves from Allah's punishment. And make ready against them all you can of power, including steeds of war, tanks, planes, missiles, artillery, to threaten the enemy of Allah and your enemy, and others besides whom you may not know but whom Allah does know. And whatever you shall spend in the cause of Allah shall be repaid unto you, and you shall not be treated unjustly. But if they incline to peace, you also incline to it, and put your trust in Allah. Verily, He is the All-Hearer, the All-Knower. And if they intend to deceive you, then verily, Allah is all-sufficient for you. He it is who has supported you with His help and with the believers. And He has united their, that is, believers, hearts. If you had spent all that is in the earth, you could not have united their hearts, but Allah has united them. Certainly He is Almighty, All-Wise. O Prophet, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Allah is sufficient for you and for the believers who follow you. O Prophet, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Urge the believers to fight. If there are 20 steadfast persons amongst you, they will overcome 200s, and if there be 100 steadfast persons, they will overcome 1,000 of those who disbelieve, because they, the disbelievers, are people who do not understand. Now Allah has lightened your task, for He knows that there is weakness in you. So if there are of you 100 steadfast persons, they shall overcome 200s, and if there are 1,000 of you, they shall overcome 2,000 with the leave of Allah. And Allah is with us Sabirun, the patient. It is not for a prophet that he should have prisoners of war, and free them with ransom, until he had made a great slaughter, among his enemies, in the land. You desire the good of this world, that is, the money of ransom for freeing the captives, but Allah desires, for you, the hereafter. And Allah is Almighty, All-Wise. Were it not a previous ordainment from Allah, a severe torment would have touched you for what you took. So enjoy what you have gotten of booty in war, lawful and good, and be afraid of Allah. Certainly, Allah is oft-forgiving, most merciful. O Prophet, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Say to the captives that are in your hands, if Allah knows any good in your hearts, He will give you something better than what has been taken from you, and He will forgive you, and Allah is oft-forgiving, most merciful. But if they intend to betray you, O Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, they indeed betrayed Allah before. So He gave you power over them. And Allah is All-Knower, All-Wise. Verily, those who believed, and emigrated and strove hard and fought with their property and their lives in the cause of Allah, as well as those who gave them asylum and help, these are all allies to one another. And as to those who believed but did not emigrate, to you, O Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, you owe no duty of protection to them until they emigrate, but if they seek your help in religion, it is your duty to help them, except against a people with whom you have a treaty of mutual alliance, and Allah is the all-seer of what you do. And those who disbelieve are allies of one another, and, if you, Muslims of the whole world collectively, do not do so, that is, become allies, as one united bloc under one Khalifa, a chief Muslim ruler for the whole Muslim world, to make victorious Allah's religion of Islamic monotheism, there will be fitna, wars, battles, polytheism, and oppression on the earth, and a great mischief and corruption, appearance of polytheism. And those who believed, and emigrated and strove hard in the cause of Allah, al-Jihad, as well as those who gave them asylum and aid, these are the believers in truth, for them is forgiveness and rizqun kareem, a generous provision, that is, paradise. And those who believed afterwards, and emigrated and strove hard along with you, in the cause of Allah, they are of you. But kindred by blood are nearer to one another, regarding inheritance, in the decree ordained by Allah. Verily, Allah is the all-knower of everything.